I couldn't envision funeral homes asking their community to raise money to help pay the bills for them. It's self-serving. I was thinking there's not a shot. So I went back to our funeral homes and I started asking the funeral directors that work with us, have you ever heard of GoFundMe? And they're like, oh yeah, we just had this young boy that was killed by a pit bull. We donated the service. We donated all the services. We just asked the family to pay the cash advances, which were $500. It was a cremation with a memorial service. So we donated a $5,000 service. The family had to come up with the money for other people, the cash advances. And they went on GoFundMe and said, hey, our son passed away and Mean Funeral Home won't have the service until the bill's paid. So I was like, oh, that was terrible. And then I went to another one of our funerals. You guys ever heard of GoFundMe? Oh, yeah. We just had this money raised on GoFundMe and it was $10,000. And then when they raised the money, they said, that's what we're going to use to pay the funeral bill. But they never came in and used the money to pay the funeral bill. And we got stuck for the funeral bill.
Wow.
And then I went to another person. I said, you guys ever heard of GoFundMe? Oh, yeah. We've heard of it. It's great. We get the family a loan to make payments to provide their funeral services. And the family didn't know how they were going to come up with the funds. So the funeral director created a fund, raised the money in 4 days and paid it off. So that was a good story. But so the thing was, though, is whether I liked it or not, we were using GoFundMe. I mean, I was sitting there in the study group thinking there's no way we're going to use it. And every day it's being used in positive and negative ways. We established Treasured Memories Community Funding, and it's tmcfunding.com. And when we did, is what we do is we go out in the community and say, let's not just focus on ourself, the funeral home. Let's focus on the community in two ways. One is the family in need doesn't just need to have their funeral bill paid for. They usually have travel expenses. They might have personal expenses of how am I going to pay my utilities now that my father's died and left these 3 young children at home? What are we going to do about paying the medical expenses? We had a whole bunch of medical expenses in the last few days before he died. So then the fund isn't self-serving for the funeral home. Like, how am I going to pay the funeral home? The fund is for the funeral home to really, truly help the family. That's on the helping the family side. But then you have a whole bunch of people, more like probably 75 or 80% of the people, they're not worried about themselves because they have the wherewithal. They had an insurance policy or something to have their funeral paid for. They want to have the money paid to the SPCA, to the hospice, to the local university or high school or something. They want to actually raise money for the community. It's an opportunity for the funeral home to help out that family, getting a complete list of all the donors, getting a list of knowing why they're raising the money, like what was the purpose. The hospice was really nice to me. The school really made a big difference in my life. So we raise these funds that the family then can give to the specific organization they want to donate the money to, but they also get a complete list of the donors and they can write thank you notes to them versus having donors just out there in the world sending the money in randomly and they never even know that it occurred. So basically, Treasure Memories offers a bunch of different things. We're just happy to provide it as a tool for all funeral directors to use. Well, I travel a lot. Mm-hmm. I get up every day and I go to work. I live in Virginia Beach. I go to work there usually on Mondays and I travel Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday going to our funeral homes because I want to be very present so that people see me multiple times a year and know that it's a personal service business and I want to make sure that we deliver outstanding service. So if I'm willing to go there and visit with our staff and ask them, what are the needs that we have and how can we accomplish those, they know that I care. And I think it makes a difference for them and they care. I've traveled every week since year 2000, pretty much. I mean, there's a rare few exceptions and COVID was not one of them. I traveled every week during COVID as well because staying home saying, oh, COVID is a problem, I can't travel. Well, I mean, funeral service didn't stop. I mean, actually it was busier. So funeral directors couldn't just say we're closed. A lot of businesses could close. Hospitals couldn't close. Funeral homes couldn't close. A lot of businesses couldn't close. But if we were going to stay open, I was going to keep traveling and making sure that the people knew that we needed to deliver outstanding service at a very critical time. So I travel a lot, very involved with my family. My wife is outstanding. I have 3 children who are outstanding. They 2 boys and a girl. When they were in like little league stuff like soccer and lacrosse and basketball and just different sports. I coached a lot of flag football, coached a lot of their little league sports until they moved on to more serious levels of sports. So I'm very involved with them. I like to spend time at home. So travel each week, usually Tuesday and Wednesday night. And the other nights I'm at home and involved with my family.
Nice. So Are any of the kids going to be the fifth generation or?
Good question. The oldest is a senior in college this year. Next is sophomore, and my youngest is a junior in high school. So none of them yet have chosen that path. My two older ones have helped me out a lot, on their breaks, on their summer breaks, and over Christmas and all. They've worked in and around the funeral homes, done an outstanding job. Everybody's different. I've watched different families make different decisions, but I'm an advocate of I've seen done, which is if you want to come back and work here in our company, is you need to go somewhere else and work 2 years and make sure that you get an experience of working for somebody else other than us. I personally didn't follow that path. I came back and started working right away. My dad is an outstanding person, very, very nice person, but there was no slacking. There was no, you're the owner's son, so you have any special treatment. That was not the case. I do believe I could have benefited from working for somebody else for a couple of years as well.
Yeah. I mean, I always think outside perspective helps give you a broader knowledge of situations and understandings.